Okay, in today's session, we're going to be looking at how you can make the first home purchase very simple. So this would be a practical guide for first-time home buyers in Ontario. Where do you start? You don't start with looking at listings. A lot of people go online, look at realtor.ca, look at House Sigma, or ask a realtor to set them up to receive listings. That's not the case that you should be doing. You should start with learning and educating yourself. There are tons of trusted online resources. We're going to be sending you some for your reference. Take some time, go through them, make sure you're familiar as much as possible with the whole process. And also get real advice from real people. Don't rely on Google Gemini or Grok or ChatGPT because, as we know, they all tend to hallucinate. So the information that you get from them are not necessarily the most accurate and factual information that you can get. Your most important partners. Who are the partners that you should be trusting in this transaction or in this journey, let's say? Your mortgage advisor acts as your financial GPS. So they help you determine your budget and get you pre-approved by letting you know of your options. They will tell you what options you have so that you can make the best choice, and they will pre-approve you for your purchase. The most important partner, I might be a bit biased, but truly will be your real estate agent, because how they will act is to navigate with you throughout the whole journey, throughout the whole process, and they will save you from the common pitfalls that we will touch on a bit later. But they're I think, arguably the most important people that you can have as your consultant or as your partner when you're buying your first home. So about the incentives, we're going to be very, thorough and quick about all of these today, because it will take a much longer time if you want to, sort of dig deep into each of them. The first one would be the home buyers plan. That is a plan where you would basically be able to withdraw from your RSP tax-free up to $60,000, and you can use it for your first home purchase. The other thing would be the home buyer's tax credit, which is essentially applying $10,000 of your purchase as an expense that will get deducted from your income, which usually translates into around $1,500 of tax deduction. And then the CMHC Home Start, arguably the most important and most famous program that first-time home buyers take advantage of. And what that is that it allows you to use a higher amortization, 30 years instead of the typical 25, and then you'll have as little as 5% down payment for your first $500,000 purchase, and from then up to $1.5 million, you have to pay down 10% to be able to get a CMHC backed mortgage, which entails you or requires you to have an extra insurance premium paid. But some people like that, and it will give them more affordability. The HST and GST rebate on the new housing, that is something that you as a first-time home buyer could take advantage of. The land transfer tax rebate, around $4,000 for first-time home buyers, a little bit more in Toronto. That's something that you can get as a first-time home buyer when purchasing a home. First-time home savings account, another program that's been recently launched, and that what it does is that you can try to build up this account up to $40,000 to a maximum of contribution of $8,000 a year, and then withdraw from that account tax-free. We will produce more videos in the future, diving deep into each and a single one of these. But for now, I guess that's all you need to know. What you should look for as a first-time home buyer. So really, it's not only the house itself that's important. There are many factors that, layer on top of each other and create a good purchase for you. And what we will do, and I'll discuss this later too, is that we have a session where we sit down and talk to you about everything that you have in mind about when you want to purchase your first home. And we untangle everything so that when you are done with us, you and at the same time, we as your potential realtor would know exactly what is that you want, where do you want it, what's your budget, and it makes you much more confident, very simplified process for you at that point. Um, I'll just go through these quickly. The neighborhood, how safety would be important to you, how much walkable do you want the house to be, the amenities in the area. Do you want it to be close to a park or a dog park, place of worship, types of homes, depending on your um, preferences. Are you going to be more comfortable in a condo or a townhouse, freehold, semi-detached, or a detached home? School zones, how does that affect your purchase? Are you recently moving in with your partner, or are you starting a family and you might have children in the next couple of years? Transit access, how does commuting to work look like for you? Do you want to be close to a TTC station, subway, go transit? All of that has to be looked at when you're considering your purchase. Monthly costs, these are things that get overlooked by a lot of purchasers just because they're not familiar with it. But you'll have condo fees, you have property taxes, you have insurance, you have maintenance and repair down the road, depending on what you buy. So are you familiar with how much these are, and are you comfortable with that? Future growth. So do you want to buy a new development just because of it being an easier option, or are you open to like some future growth for a little bit more of an appreciation down the road? The home condition, the roof, the furnace, electrical, and plumbing. What's very important is that people have to understand that we push for home inspection on almost every single purchase, and we're working with very well-known home inspectors in the city that we use all the time. And just the only scenarios where we don't really do a home inspection is for a newer construction that's covered by Tarion. And moving on, we're getting to the parking and storage situation. How much important is a parking spot for you? Would you be needing storage today? And if not, what will happen when you have kids? Do you really need storage then? And then the noise and vibe of the neighborhood. Do you like to be in a downtown situation setting, or do you like the calmness of the suburbs? Renovation needs. Do you want a turnkey project? Are you a handy person and can create a little bit more upside and potential for more appreciation in your home by taking on some small projects at some point? These are all things that we will go through when we're having the conversation. What to avoid as a first-time home buyer? Okay, this is a very, very important thing because there are many rookie and other types of mistakes that might create friction for you down the road. The most important thing is to get your finances right. I see that a lot of times people are just not familiar with how much they can afford when they're purchasing a home. So the most important thing, and I can't stress this enough, is to get pre-approved and perhaps talk to a few mortgage advisors so that you know what your options are and be in constant communication with them. Underestimating total cost is another thing that a lot of people face at a later stage in their purchase, and that's all the costs that are included in a transaction: closing costs, lawyer costs, moving costs, everything that comes with a typical home purchase. Around 4 to 6% of your purchase are like closing costs, what we call them. And the last thing you want to do is to become house poor, meaning that when you are done with the transaction and you move into your home, you don't have money to enjoy the other great things in life, such as like eating outside at a restaurant, or traveling, or doing some shopping for yourself every once in a while. The other thing is overstretching your budget, which goes back to the same thing. Never overstretch yourself, because at the end of the day, what's important to you is to enjoy living in the house that you've purchased, instead of going to bed at night still being worried about your next mortgage payment. Skipping home inspections. One of the worst mistakes that you can make, unless what you're buying is already covered by a Tarion house warranty, or you see a situation like a small condo where the home inspection is not needed because there is not much that could be done anyways. Using experienced professionals. Just because somebody is giving you a discount on their services doesn't typically mean that they would have your best interest in mind. So one thing that I would really advise you to do is not use inexperienced people. You might pay a little bit more today. A lot of the fees that are charged during a purchase of a home are not covered by you. So the seller pays your realtor most of the time. So don't really use an experienced professional. Hurting your credit. This is very important. I'm hearing a lot about the person who would just lease a car 2 months before the closing, or sometimes even something as small as a new home phone plan, or something very minor. So always keep your mortgage advisor in the know. Let them know if you're making any financial decisions that could affect, I'm saying this again, could affect your credit score, because that's very important. So what happens next? We have a promise that we give to our first-time home buyers. We have a special program that we run, and the first thing is that we offer a 12-month satisfaction guarantee, meaning that if you, for any reason, decide to sell your home 12 months, up to 12 months after you purchase it and close it, we are more than happy to sell it for you without charging you any commission. So that's number one. The second one is our Dream Home Finder program. So once we know exactly what you want, and that's how confident we are in knowing, being able to pinpoint what exactly we want, we want to purchase for our client, we will send out mailers, we would cold call homes, and we will door knock the areas that you're looking to purchase a property in, so that we know that we're not only restricted to the MLS. So we actually go out and look for homes for you. And the other thing is the no obligation certificate. Means that if you are not happy with our services for whatever reason, we just would ask for a 30-day notice, and we could conclude our business, no strings attached. The last thing is that we want is to have a client that's not satisfied with our services. We have an essential services program, which means that if you're a police officer, firefighter, teacher, healthcare worker, or a military veteran, please give us a call, contact us. We have a special program for you that will give you some savings. Exclusive listings. We have access to channels within our brokerage and between other brokerages that have properties discussed that are not on the MLS, sort of like the off-market listings, the ones that are going for foreclosure, the ones that are owned by the bank at this point, and we would be more than happy to consider those properties for you as well. Proprietary data access, meaning that we would set you up to receive all the homes that get listed in a specific area that fit your criteria versus the ones that get listed all the time, and you see sometimes you get set up with emails that has 10 listings every day, and like not even one of them are even close to what you are thinking, and it doesn't match any criteria that you have in mind. So we make sure that that's there, and we provide a weekly update on the market situation. We send you an email every week, tell you what's happened, what has sold for how much, so that you can be well informed and it helps your decision. Okay, last but not least, at this point, I think you should be able to make a decision, and I really, again, would recommend that you book your 30-minute free home buying jumpstart with us. It's a session, no obligation. We'll sit down, we have a list, we go through, we brainstorm, we discuss options and alternatives, and I'm pretty sure, I can guarantee almost, that by the time you're done, you have much more confidence in your next step and what it will be. So I really advise you to take the opportunity and sit down with us for that free 30-minute home buying session. The other thing is the resources pack. If you sign up right now, we will send you that resources pack, which has a checklist of everything that you need to do before, after, while looking for a home. All these links to these resources that I just talked about are there, so you can get a good understanding of the whole situation. And then perhaps whenever you felt that you're ready to pull the trigger, we can sit down and talk a bit more. Yes, so that includes and concludes the presentation that we have for today. This is us. If you wanted to reach out, and if you have any questions, my name is Kam Lolavar. I work with Sohail Shivarani. Reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to help and answer any questions that you might have. Yeah, that's about it, really. I look forward to seeing you all very soon, and have a good one.